Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you another update on this Helios, and yeah, sorry about no updates. Last couple days, I've been texturing and working on parts of the ship, and wasn't really ready. Didn't get a lot of time over the weekend to work on it, so I'm kind of running a little behind, but not bad. I've been mixing up how I've been building this ship. Uh, a ship this size with so many texture surface areas is a grueling thing to build, and I've been trying to mix it up a little bit and do like some hull texturing, and then work on the interior some, and then kind of like just kind of mixing up uh, the work that needs to be done so it's not quite as monotonous all at once. So what I ended up doing is I did do some hull texturing, but there's a lot of parts untextured yet. I did kind of work on the front, and then this whole dropship module bay. But then I started working on the interior a lot, and I recently started working on the texturing of the flight deck as well. So you can kind of see what the dropship module bay is looking like. I apologize for the lighting; it sucks right now. I got the sun over there. It makes for weird lighting conditions. I guess you can say kind of weird, dark, and super bright all at once in certain places. But I did work on a lot of the interior. So I got this whole hangar kind of built up. Again, I'll probably be doing some more tweaks as I go, but it's got its whole base section going on, and I even added some LCDs to the ship already, and kind of see what the hangar is looking like. You do have a medical bay here. Now, on the last video, I was talking a lot about, do you like the lighter scheme or the darker scheme better? And then I was thinking to myself, well, it can be both. And honestly, on the response to that it was close to 50-50. I mean, there's a lot of people that like the darker scheme, and a lot of people like the lighter scheme, and it was like a coin toss on who said what. And honestly, I was just as torn. I really was, and I'm like, well, you know what? All I got to do is create a different palette and manipulate some colors. I'll paint it all in the white scheme, and then if you put on the darker scheme, then it looks the same. And so you got the best of both worlds this way. Now these color codes are not going to be here in the hangar. I just put them there for convenience. Right now they'll get moved somewhere else to the ship. But right now, hangar is kind of set up. Sort of what it looks like. Again, I wanted to get a little more detail in there. Though I've been working on the lighting as well. Some of these lights are pretty big and powerful. Like these are 40. I think these are like, oh no, actually this is only 20. Some of these I'll be tweaking in some more. Some I do have intensity of 3 on this ship as well. I normally don't go to intensity 3, but things are just so dark in the game that I think I'm gonna have to like start jumping up the intensity on a lot of the lights. So I also did up the module hallway here. Now originally I was gonna do this whole lot different in this area until it was brought up to me that there are modules that are using these front doors for like HVs or vehicles, and they need to be able to drop them off and park them into the hangar. So my ideas of having more of a thinner, more of a makeshift production area here kind of went out the window, because I want to make sure that it's completely compatible with with everything that the first Helios did. And if I would have done the other setup in here, it wouldn't have worked. It would have blocked off all these doors from allowing vehicles to come through other modules besides the dropship module bay. So I really had to keep the compatibility going on. There is still room in here, but yeah, it's kind of the same format, a little bit thinner, but the same format as the first Helios on the central hallway going down the middle here. It's not as long though. And it goes to the last module bay here on the back. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over here. 6 is up in that other area. I'll show you in a second here. And I did get the other gravity generator in as well. So the ship is using half the number of gravity generators versus the first Helios, but they're just I was able to put them in better locations so they could cover the whole area. So you got your rear gravity generator, and then the front gravity generator is here. Gravity generators typically have a minimum of 36 block radius around them, and I was doing a lot of block counting to try to get these put in the right positions. So essentially we're under 72 blocks between the two gravity generators here, and we're under the total number of blocks out the front or the back. So essentially it covers the whole ship with two gravity generators, which is pretty optimal for this ship. There's no way you could do it with one. It had to have at least two, and that's what it's doing. So here's module base 6. This is again intended for more of a production module. It does not have the same height indoor. In fact, I got a force field here instead of the other door as well. And come to think of it, I could get rid of these doors entirely and totally replace them with force fields super quickly and easily. Does anybody have an opinion on that? Should I run the doors like I have been with the first Helios, or should I just force field this out as well? I mean, honestly, it's a super easy thing. In fact, it only needs one force field part to make the same size piece here. So it's a very quick and easy job to do either way. So anyway, let me move on forward. We'll get up to the bridge here. We do have, not in here. No, this is thruster access. There's a little bathroom up here. Thought I'd put in a little bathroom. It's not very detailed, but can't really do a lot with it. Very tight with the blocks. But anyway, the bridge. So very similar to that of the Helios bridge. I like how you walk into here better though. It's just kind of a big open hallway rather than going through a bunch of doors and stuff like that. So you get right over here. You got your 4 passenger seats. You got way up to the 2nd floor and the flight deck through that elevator actually there. Then this back area here, you've got a bunch of just function stuff. So you got your armor locker and repair, or armor repair. You got a medical bay over here with the specialized equipment and a shower. And then over on the other side, you've got the other 2 pieces for the medical bay, which is the O2 and the straight-up medical bay, and then a spot for a teleporter as well. And then walking down these hallways here, over here you've got your 4 320K storage bays that are kind of built in places for constructors or deconstructors. And the next aisleway here, you've got your ammo bay at 120K. And then it's got a location. I'll have to indicate this better, but this is supposed to be for 4 small constructors. And then there's some cargo boxes on the other side. And then when you get all the way down over here, you've got your, there's nothing really going on in this end hallway here, just some, I think some O2 tanks in there. And then in here, you've got your fill-in 640K storage bay. So you place a container controller here at the end, but you basically, all the open blocks in this whole area, you fill in with container extensions, put the controller here, and then you got a 640K bay that you can add into the ship. It won't come stock with that. That's why I removed it in the first place. I am going to have to probably put out a vanilla version of this, or I don't know. I might have, I might have to do both again. Where there's a vanilla and an RE version. Like the RE version, I would have probably left the 640K storage bay. But the vanilla, nah, because it can't do 640 in the first place. And vanilla charges heavily for CPU on storage. So it's just way out of whack there. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with the ship. Let me just fly around a little bit more, look at a couple other specs here. So I haven't really textured the top of this ship yet. I just started, and it's got a long ways to go to get this all painted in and tweaked out and detailed. But I've been trying to come up with formations right now. And I started out where it was all this darker gray colors, and I was like, oh man, I need to get some brighter colors in the top of it. And that's kind of what took place on the first Helios as well. It was really dark, and it needed that lighter divider area, and then some other grays in the mixture. And that's kind of what I'm working on. But I got a long ways to go on getting even the flight deck of this thing textured. And then I've got all kinds of surface areas everywhere to texture on this thing yet, especially the bottom side, all these walls and the whole back area, and I have not been inside here to work out the engineering rooms yet. I'm kind of looking forward to that because it'll be some block work and some designing again to get me away from nonstop tedious texturing, which it gets old. It gets so old. The texturing. It's like you work on like one area. Like like I was so happy. Like I painted this little chunk over here, and it was like I had it for like at least a half hour, 45 minutes, and then it was just like, oh, let's do this wall now. So that was a bunch more time, and then let's do this piece, and then you zoom out and you look at all the more texturing you got to do on this son of a gun, and it's just a lot of texturing. And then the whole flight deck, which is a whole like build in itself to get that textured. Well, maybe I exaggerate. I'm sure I do, but it's a long time. It's going to take hours and hours and hours and hours to finish the flight deck on this. And I do recall now that the first Helios took a long time to texture this flat area. Literally, this big flat flight deck took a long time. Messing around, changing things, messing with the formation, looking at it from different angles, that kind of thing. Anyway, I will shut up. I've been rambling on for a long time. Please let me know if you got any other thoughts or anything like that on this ship, and what do you think of it so far, on how it's coming out. Do you like the interior stuff? Oh, you know what? And I'll just, again, the lighting really sucks where I'm at in space. But let me grab the other color palette here a second, and I'll just copy that in place. That's kind of why I put them here, so I could go back and forth. So let me do that, and we'll paste that into the color palette. And yeah, this is just the easiest way. You notice it kind of changes like the brightness of some of these colors, and I can dial this all in. There's a bunch of different shades of gray that are kind of close together in this color scheme, but it just kind of darkens things up a little bit more so you don't have that white look in the mix very much, which I don't mind this look either. And honestly, I was so torn, and so were everybody commenting on that too. Everybody seemed to be very, very torn. About 50% of the people wanted it one way, 50% of people wanted it the other way. I was in the middle myself, so and I'm like, why go through all the fuss? Why just paint it all in the white scheme, make an alt palette that does it in the other scheme? Then everyone's hopefully will be happy, including myself. So anyway, now I'm going to shut up, and you guys all have yourself a great day. I will talk to you later.